meteorologist Mark Molnar. As always, I want to thank you for joining me for this edition of Weather Eastern. We're going to take a look at the tropics. Severe weather ongoing in the northeast and the east, continuing with some rainfall as well. A lot of unsettled weather going on. We're dealing with Claudette moving out offshore of the northeast on its way to eastern Canada. And guess what? We have another tropical wave out by the Lesser Antilles. Also, GFS is hinting at a potential system for the Caribbean and eventually the Gulf of Mexico, starting from about June 28th, 29th, and heading on into 4th of July weekend. I'm going to show you all the particulars and break it down for you. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell button when you're alerted when I come out with one of these videos. Also, smash the like button. Share this video as much as possible. We're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers. And also, as always, I have that hurricane outlook for this season down below in the description down below. So if you haven't caught that yet, go ahead and watch it. Let's get right into all the particulars. Taking a look at the tropics here across the Atlantic Basin and the Gulf of Mexico and Caribbean, we have a couple areas of interest. Of course, we're still dealing with Tropical Storm Claudette that will be on its way out. Tuesday and Wednesday, it starts to become absorbed in the westerlies, become extra tropical. And then guess what? We have the other tropical wave just southeast of the Windward Leeward Islands, Lesser Antilles. We have about a 40% chance in the next couple days here of some sort of development. After that, the wind shear becomes a little bit more prevalent, and we will be dealing with some of that hostile conditions across parts of the Caribbean. Now, the trend is across the Caribbean into the Gulf of Mexico. So you see those red arrows there. GFS is the only model next week hinting at something very interesting. Has been back and forth. Yesterday, over the weekend, it was more towards Texas. Now it's kind of more towards Florida, but it is hinting at something, some sort of development next, say the middle of next week, all the way through 4th of July weekend. So you want to stay tuned for that. That could be quite interesting. And then the ITCZ continues to be very wound up out here. We have another big tropical wave. Saharan dust is still there, but it is diminishing ever so slightly. The satellite for the Gulf of Mexico. Look at that. Wow, that's a big red showers and thunderstorm blob here over the west central Gulf. Now, the National Hurricane Center doesn't have any area of interest here in the western Gulf. However, you do need to watch these complexes this time of year because, sometimes if they persist, they can really flare up something here. So I wanted to make note of that. There it is. You can't miss it. And here's the rest of the tropical Atlantic. We have that big tropical wave heading off the African coast there. Very active for this time of year. It's just continuing. That's been the rule, as the ITCZ is very active for this time of year. And look at that. There's that area of interest. I have about 40% chance over the next 5 days southeast of the Windward and Leeward Islands here, Lesser Antilles. Look at that. That's pretty well holding together. There's no wind shear out here. So I do not see any reason why this can't develop over the next, say, 3 to 5 days here. So we might be looking at another depression here forming. The rest of the tropics at this time looks pretty benign, but look at that. There's not much wind shear out here. And as we see the GFS here, take this with a grain of salt, because the GFS has been one of the few models, or only models for that matter, that I can tell that's been picking up on this Caribbean system come later. So it's the middle part of next week towards 4th of July weekend. You see, as we go through this week, we have little to no fanfare. We have that system near the Lesser Antilles. But look at next week. We start to have that development just south of Cuba, crosses the western tip of Cuba, and then towards Florida. Yesterday, this was much further west. So it's interesting to see that the GFS does not lose this system, but has brought it much further east. I want time to go by here to see if any of the other models pick up on this, but it is interesting to note the GFS is very stubborn with this sort of system in the exact same time frame, only it moved it from the western Gulf to the eastern Gulf. So we'll continue to watch it here. Take it with a grain of salt. And Robert Stone, viewers sent in photos and videos here. This is north of Dubuque, Iowa, the thunderstorm line. I'm showing you the radar because this is the thunderstorm line he drove going into. Take a look. And here is Robert driving into that line of thunderstorms just north of Dubuque, Iowa. This was a tremendous amount of thunder, lightning, tremendous amount of rain. He said he had to reduce speeds to 40 to 45 miles per hour. It was very difficult to drive in this, so good Good job getting out of that, Robert. This was a lot of severe weather in this part of the country here. Nice capture. And Derek Rentschler from Lebanon County, Pennsylvania, June 20th, last night, a big lightning show across the Lebanon County, Pennsylvania area. So very nice capture here, Derek. This has been the rule pretty much across much of the Northeast today as well, heading on into tonight. Lots of showers and thunderstorms, tremendous amount of lightning as well. So very nice captures there. And John from Islip, New York, sunny Little England section, Islip, New York here. Take a look at this back on June 19th. Very nice captures here, capturing a lot of very nice weather, fair weather across the area, traversing across the roads. Looks like a very beautiful part of New York and Islip here. Nice captures, John. And the upper air pattern across North America, we see a big ridge developing out west. That translates to a trough in the east. We'll be dealing with much colder temperatures the next couple of days, at least through the middle to latter part of the week, before we start to see a warming trend develop. So that is the big switch. We're playing a switcheroo here across North America. Taking a look at Monday evening into the overnight across the Northeast. Basically, you get the gist of it here. We have the enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms continuing across the Northeast well past 6, 7, 8 p.m. here, continuing eventually into New England. Now, it is kind of letting up across western New York, western Pennsylvania. That all will be heading east throughout the evening and the overnight hours, eventually into New England. So, got those really high dew points and humidity. Showers and thunderstorms will be continuing. Heed those warnings if you're going to bed tonight. Put on the NOAA weather radio, whatever alerts you, phone, whatever. Just stay alert, stay tuned. All right, Monday evening across the Southeast, pretty active as well. Not as active as the Northeast and New England, but look at that. A very big yellow area across Texas all the way to the Virginia area. Showers and thunderstorms could become severe. And look at the darker green here across Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. We see a continued increase of those showers and thunderstorm activity. Torrential rain potential upwards of 1, 2, maybe 3 inches, and those really heavy downpours, those persistent downpours. So really looking at a really stormy evening and overnight for the Southeast here. Tuesday across the Northeast, this is just downright ridiculous. Look at this. We have the cold front pushing off the coast. This does not look like late June, does it? 65 for a high in Binghamton, 64 in Syracuse, 59 in Toronto. This is just downright ridiculous. We hold on to early highs along the coastline in the upper 70s, near 80, but in all honesty, this is going to be just a miserable day across the Northeast as winds kick in out of the northwest, about 10 to 20 miles per hour. And we're looking at the Southeast here for your Tuesday. Look at this. Strong to severe thunderstorms developing across the panhandle of Florida, southeastern Alabama, all the way through Georgia, and the Carolinas here into southeastern Virginia. That frontal boundary continuing to pretty vigorous to the southeast here. Damaging wind, large hail, frequent lightning, and torrential downpours will be the main threats here. Outside of that main zone, we'll have the scattered to showers and thunderstorms. Some could contain heavy downpours. Look at that, 95 in Houston, 90s in Florida. Wednesday across the Northeast. Look at this. It's like happy days all over again. You know, we get rid of all of these problems here across the Northeast. Another reinforcing shot of cold air from Tuesday finally pushing out. And look at that. Sunny skies, the rule. Low to mid 70s are the rule. Wall-to-wall sunshine. Just really a wonderful summer day. Get out there and enjoy it. Wednesday across the Southeast. Look at this. The front is pretty well washing out here across the Southeast. We're lining up along the Gulf Coast, 90 in New Orleans, 90 in Miami, 91 in Tampa. We start to cool down a little bit behind the front. Look at that. 77 in Norfolk, 85 in Atlanta. So it may be up to a quarter, half an inch in some of these heavier showers and thunderstorms, but for the most part, we'll be washing this front right out. And here we go, Thursday across the Northeast. We have a warming trend on the backside of the high-pressure system. Look at this. Summertime is really getting back in swing here. Low to mid-80s are the rule. Humidity pretty well in check in the 30 to 40% range, so you can't ask for a much better day than this during your early summer. Get out there and enjoy it. And if you have the day off, that's even better. And Thursday across the Southeast, that front continues to wash out. We do have an area of low pressure that forms along it just off the Carolina coast. But for the most part, look at this. Temperatures are warming back up into the 90s for most areas. Seeing a little bit cooler here in Panama City and Atlanta, Georgia, Raleigh. But for the most part, look at that. Warming up 92 in New Orleans, 96 in Houston. Look at that. Drying out to the west here. extended outlook across the my immediate forecast area from upper Susquehanna region of upstate New York, northeast Pennsylvania, from Binghamton to Scranton. All points in between. Monday evening, we got those ongoing showers and thunderstorms, damaging wind, large hail, frequent lightning, isolated tornadoes continuing all the way through midnight, even after that into parts of New England, the eastern part of my forecast area. Look at this. For Tuesday, this is a little bit ridiculous. For late June, wouldn't you say 64 for a high, rain ending by 8 or 9 a.m., showery throughout the rest of the day, scattered showers. We kind of make up for it for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We get out the sunshine, and look at that. We're swinging the other way again towards the upper 80s. So this is like a seesaw roller coaster pattern here. So there you have it. Get out there and enjoy later in the week. As always, I want to thank you for joining me for this edition of Weather Northeastern. As always, hit that subscribe button and the bell button so you're alerted when I come out with one of these videos. Give my Facebook page some love. It's MeteoMark, also Weather Northeastern. And you can visit me on Twitter at WX Northeastern and MeteoMark.com, WeatherNortheastern.com. Thank you for joining me.